All right, so honest opinion, would you think I would enjoy this game? Me specifically, yes. Out of the box, better than Valheim. The fighting is like way smoother. The crafting is pretty intricate. A lot of similarities between the two, but like even just something as simple as this. You see the roof? See how it's like all nice and blended in? So like, let's say this. Oh, I don't have the material. Ah, okay, so anyways, all of this blended in like this. So you know how like in Valheim, if you put on this tile, like that's exactly what that tile would look like. And then if you just kept doing that, it would be like a bunch of little kind of caps. That's actually what all this turned into be. They like smooth out the actual interlock. So, okay, so perfect example. You see that? Boom, you see how it flattens out? Pretty nice, right? Really good. A lot of similarities, like you craft certain things, it unlocks different things. You get different NPCs that you can kind of like summon into your building, so to speak. This is like your main altar, kind of like how V Rising had like an altar like this, and it was like a buildable area. This is the buildable area, right? You can upgrade the altar that can then expand the buildable area. Do you have to build structurally sound buildings? There is no building integrity that I've seen so far. I'm assuming that something like that might be added in, but currently I haven't seen like a building integrity. I would probably say there will be, because you can kind of see the blue, right? So I would imagine that they would add something like that in. So far I'm enjoying it, definitely. So there's like some nice touches too. So for instance, like there's equipables. So if you go to your character, you can physically equip a, say, bow and a weapon at the same time. So like you'll have your shield, you'll have, oh, there's a backpack extension. Shh. Yeah, nice. Okay, so this is something that I can equip. Anything with like this symbol right there is indicating that I can equip it, and it goes out of your bars. You don't have to like have them slotted, and they're just always there. So for instance, the glider, if I just press spacebar after jumping, oh yeah, this is gonna definitely be a community thing. I 100% am gonna get G Portal to host us up some stuff. I really love this part. Yeah, there's certain QOLs that are happening in this game that I like so far. So like, let's say I jump and then press spacebar again, you can glide. So that glider was right here, so I don't have to equip it. I just press spacebar and it does it again. So certain things are integrated in like that. Another example is like, let's say I'm with my shield and sword right now. I can be blocking with right click, that type of thing. If I swap over to a two-hander, it'll go right there. If I swap back, it's back to these two. But let's say I wanted to do a range. If you notice in the bottom right, it says Q right beside my camera here. It says Q, so I can go like this and manually aim if I wanted to and shoot, or maybe I don't want to and I just let go of Q, it goes right back to my weapons. Like the combat so far is like very fluid so far. So like, let's say I'm like this and I shoot off one, I can continue to keep doing that, or I can just swap right back. It's very clean. So the way that this is working right now, the demo, is basically you get 8 hours per world. So I have 4 hours and 11 minutes. You can see that in the bottom left, but your character, I think, stays. There's still like the rested stuff you can see in the top left, rested like Valheim. Whereas the different levels, you can see that the night and day cycles are very abrupt. They just happen quick. There's like different armor and all that sort of fun stuff. You can enhance equipment. Metal sheets. I need 4. I need more metal scraps. Damn it. Okay, so I need to go get more metal scraps. We're not quite there yet. What's our current quest right now? Blacksmith says skilling the ancient spire. Oh, okay, so I gotta do that. You can show it on the map as well, or you can set up as a waypoint as well. There's like an enshrouded area, so if you like go into that like smoky area kind of thing down here, you go in here, there's a timer, and if you don't get out in time or hit a light source of some sort, like a specialty light source, you'll die. So that's where some of the challenge gets to be. But you can also see in the skills, this is the skill tree now. So there's 3 different core classes that we see so far: Ranger, Mage, and Warrior. And they all kind of have their own spider web of things that you can get based off of the runes or skill points that you have. Now you can mix and match by the looks of it. It doesn't seem like you have to hard commit to one side. So like I wanted attribute points, kind of like so. Next one that I got was this well rested, so it extends my well rested buff by a base 5 minutes, which is really convenient because then that gives you like more stamina and all that sort of jazz. But yeah, there's like specialty attacks like double jump, I can unlock double jump here eventually, or jump attack, or like very different play styles. I'm not sure if you can like, it doesn't seem like you can unspec or like respec or something like that, right? Like take away the talent points. So once you commit, I think you're committed. The character, this is kind of what we were talking about before. It looks like you get a backpack extension, all the different armor slots. You can get a full comprehensive list of all your attributes and like what they are and what your combat strengths are, your primary stats, your health, your vitals, your flame. So there's a core thing in the actual base, which is basically like a fire, and that altar can be upgraded, and as it's upgraded, it'll expand your buildable area. So that's kind of cool too. Character level right there with your experience points. This is your current backpack space with your action bars in the bottom left there, and gives you all the details when you select a certain item. Much the same, just like before in say Valheim. If you look in the top left where it says rested, it shows the 3 different kind of like buff slots. So if I were to consume say water would take 1. If I consume that berry on my number 7 on the bar there, that'll add another one with whatever that is, and you can see that, which this is the buff: 2 health regeneration, or 1 endurance, 2 stamina for 2 minutes for 30 seconds, etc. and so forth. So this is a 45-minute buff, 2 maximum time in the shroud, 2 minutes. Crafting, pretty intuitive. It's got its different categories here on the left-hand side. It's got essential supplies, resources, survival weapons, magical weapons, armor. Now this crafting changes depending on who you're interacting with. So if I'm just out and about, I only get my personal crafting. But if I go to say like the forge, or I talk to the blacksmith or something, then that opens up other things that, much like other survival games, that if you craft X item, it opens up Y and Z kind of thing. And then you also have your journal, which is broken down into different craft areas. So you'll see like the different journals that you can kind of go through and look at all the different tasks that it wants you to say do. There are a bunch of other things. So like anything that's new, it'll show with this little kind of dot that you can go ahead and do. There's a comfort section. So this is a nice easy way to actually see some of the different craftables. So I've done all the comfort options right here. And you'll see like all the resources, and if it gives you how much comfort, like +2 or +1 or +2, that's kind of the journal. And then you have your main quests, which is kind of the exclamation marks, like so. We've done all these and we're working on the ancient spire. And then the world, the map is pretty self-explanatory, pretty straightforward. In the demo there's 8 players, but on live launch I think it's going to be 16 players. And there's different craftspeople. So this is what I was saying before. So right now we've only unlocked the blacksmith, but there is other survivors that you go around finding, and they'll probably give you other craftable options, like maybe an alchemist or blacksmith or so on and so forth. And it looks like you can have 2 active altars. So right now our home base, which is right here, has 1 altar. So technically you can make another one. There is fast traveling. So if you are not in the shroud, which is like the areas like this little purple whatever, as I mentioned, like down there kind of thing, you can't fast travel while you're in those. But if you get out, then you could go like that and you can fast travel back to home. You can fast travel to different points that kind of seem to be like this little fire, this cinder vault. This is kind of where you first started in the game, and then you go over to something like this. So I don't know if you can do that as the long keep. Nope. Seems like it just has to be a fire. Yeah, same thing. But yeah, it's you know, it's not very complex. It does a good job guiding you through so far. We're 4 hours into the gameplay here on the demo, but I'm really enjoying it. I think the combat is super fluid. The building, the way that they merge the tiles, like I kind of mentioned, is amazing. It's a nice little QOLs there, and yeah, I'm excited to see more of this game, to be honest. There's also like a lot of like interactables, like harvesting and whatnot. Like you can cut trees like so. That cuts trees, gives you all this material. You can also mine the ground, so you can use a pickaxe and you can kind of see where it's going to affect. You can just like hit normal ground for dirt and stone, or there will be certain nodes you'll see like colorful rocks or something. There's some stuff over here that we can run and show. It's over by the mountain here. There's also a rake. So the rake is kind of like flattens the ground. It's a little A little janky, I might just suck at it, which is probably the case. There's certain nodes like here that are just interactable, just like so, and they kind of remove. Now, in terms of like things respawning, I'm not 100% sure how it works. My game crashed at one point, so when I reloaded, everything was like respawned. But on the fly, if like, let's say you had a dedicated server and you never kind of like go offline, quote unquote, I don't know if it respawns or if they just like new trees grow. Probably easy to find out just with playing over time. I was gonna say you can actually jump quite a bit. Just like so. Stamina to climb things. You can see it like that. Very like Zelda-esque, so to speak. So we'll see right here, like this is a mining thing, this is flint. You can just hit like that, and it'll just, over time, give you stuff, and you see that on the left-hand side. Okay, we need metal. That's what we need. We need metal. Metal scraps. Whoa. So if I just press Q and then left click like that, I can just... You see how the combat is like fluid like that? I really enjoy that. I love how fluid they made that. And again, like you have number one is my two-hander. I could go to sword and board if I wanted to, right into my archer. Maybe I don't want to shoot. I don't shoot. Right back to my... You know what I mean? And even with this, like I want my sword. Maybe I want my axe. Because the weapons are different types of damage. So cutting and blunt versus say cutting, pierce, and blunt, etc., right? So, and then also what's really cool too is if you're sword and boarding like so, let's say you want to take an archer or whatever, you can actually scroll. Now I don't have any other arrows right now, but where it says 72 wooden arrows, if I had other arrow or types of arrows, it'd be shown in the list, and you could just scroll wheel to on the fly equip them. I really like how fluid the combat is so far. So there's a little bug right now that if you're holding Q and then you go, you see how this, and then I go to right click for shield, like kind of bugging out. Much the same as if I go back and forth. So they'll probably clean that up. You have to like hold Q, let go of Q, then right click, let go of right click, then Q. Otherwise you get this like weird in between. I'm sure they'll fix that up. Elixir, mysterious flask. What's that? 30-minute duration. This elixir of the shroud contains a great power at a cost. Increase your damage by 30%. Reduces your max time in the shroud by 1 minute. Little give and take. Not bad. Oh, there was a trap. Oh, there's traps. That's funny. And you can activate it. Cool. There we go. More metal scraps. Explosive. Oh, yo, this is like a little cave. Yo, we're gonna go take a look at that in a sec. I kind of want to get my armor. Oh, what's this? Fireball. 1 staff charges. 46 damage. So what is this? This is magical ammunition that ignites a fireball. So there's magical ammunition. Interesting. Oops. Oh! What? What the heck was that? You gotta watch out for that. You rest your HP? Is it going up? Oh, you probably have to rest, hey? That makes sense. No? Not warm? Fix that, dude. Put it right here, dude. That'll be warm. Nope, doesn't look like it. Yeah, I just kind of curious. Kind of curious, like, what actually affects that, right? Because I have stuff. I don't need anything. I just wanted to R&D that. All right, we'll go back, grab our stuff. Oh, what's this? What was that? Oh no, am I trapped? Oh no, I'm not. Oh my god, that's pretty cool, dude. Come on. What? That's pretty cool. Well, that's fucking ominous. Bro, really liking the vibe of this game. Yeah. I think this will be a lot of fun playing with like a group of friends. You've reached the end of the demo! Quest progression! Thank you for playing the Enshrouded demo. You have reached the end of the quest progression available for this demo. You can continue playing until the timer runs out or until we remove the demo on the 22nd of October. If you like what you've seen so far, add Enshrouded to your wish list to be kept up to date about early access release and other news. I already have it wish listed, so. How long was the demo? I sidetracked quite a bit, Cecilian. I've been playing 6 hours. And I was like putting around and running around, died a couple times. Final thoughts. Very interested in seeing the full product. Has some pretty cool systems. Kind of reminds me a little bit of kind of like Valheim meets Zelda. Kind of the two that I would say that they're a bit blended. You know, you got some of the puzzles in the towers or like puzzles throughout the game that you have to go through, like unlock the doors for this, and it could be like a hidden chest behind a wall or a barricade or something like that. Or you got the glider, which allows you to kind of zoom around or fly around, glide around kind of thing. It's got fast traveling. I really like that QOL. It's got a lot of nice QOLs. Combat is pretty fluid. Had a couple of small glitches, but I'm sure it'll get cleaned up. Crafting was fairly simplistic, like fairly straightforward. Not necessarily simplistic, but straightforward. Easy enough to understand and utilize. I'm sure there's going to be way more things as the game kind of expands. In terms of the map size, the map was pretty large. And we only explored maybe a droplet of it. The Enshrouded, or the Shrouded areas, the whole basis of the game, kind of these areas that you can go into the mist and explore, and it can be quite punishing. I died a handful of times trying to get out of the Shrouded areas. The nice thing is that you don't lose all of your equipment. So like what you actually have on your bars and some of your, say like usables or weapons that might be in your backpack, you don't drop those, you drop the materials. So if you were out farming, say salt or farming fiber or something like that, you'll drop those and then you have to go back to your rune to then pick those back up. So that makes it kind of less tedious in terms of, like in Valheim, you would sometimes have to have like 3 or 4 kits in the event that you had issues. So this demo is on until the 22nd of October. I don't know when the official release date is. I think it's just in early access will be coming up eventually, maybe next year or tail end of this year. I'm not sure what the projected timeline is. You can play 8 hours per world, but in terms of your character, I believe you can carry your character over to a new world. So technically you could go play through it 8 hours, get as much as you can, fill your inventory, go start another world, and just like try to rush to the end kind of thing with all of the gear ready to rip. So pretty cool though. Definitely excited to see where this game goes. The graphics, the scenery is really nice. Like I said, the combat feels really, really fluid, like way more fluid than Valheim ever did to me. But we'll just have to see. We'll have to see. It's a demo. You can only see so much. There is a backpack slot on your character, so you can expand your backpack. I didn't figure out how to do that, but really cool the way that they blended their ranged with their melee. So you essentially can sword and board or two-handed, and if you wanted to go to range, you just press Q. And when you press Q, it will chamber up your range, like whether or not that's a magic staff or a bow or something like that. And it's really seamless between melee and ranged, something that I kind of appreciate. You don't necessarily have to I mean, it's kind of the same thing as like pressing 4 for your range and then pressing 2 for your melee or something like that. But the way that it blends in, it feels really, really nice. So they got something going on with this game for sure. There's been a lot of games coming out like Small Land and, you know, those types of games. But this one seems like it could be really good. The mobs were actually fairly challenging, so that's nice to see. You really have to make sure that you're blocking and like parrying and doing like counter attacks and whatnot. So that's kind of refreshing. Interested to see more of the boss fights, seeing how those go. The first one was quite easy. I was able to just like kind of kite them, but some of the video footage that you might see on Steam shows some footage of these fights that look pretty intuitive. So yeah, I'm excited. I'll be watching this one. It's on my wish list on Steam, so we'll be running some sort of community event for this. Currently right now you can play up to 8 players on the demo, and live launch I believe it's 16. So what do you guys think? What did you guys think of the game?